Here's my horse Lee. I'm going to take him out for a little ride today. Do a little fall riding today. And I got him pretty much brushed up. He's all ready to go. I just got to pick his feet, put his bridle on, and away we go. Anyways, here we're on the fence line trail. This is a little winding trail that follows the fence line out to Highway 67, where we're going to cross and go out to the Kettle Moraine trails. It's pretty scenic here. Some wetlands. There's always geese, ducks, sandhill cranes around here. Lots of nice stuff. Neighbors' horses out there in the pasture. And here we're just coming up to where we're going to cross. You'll see that there's a couple of signs across the road. I hope that don't cause a problem with Lee, because it wasn't there the last time we rode. We're coming into the woods, mostly pines right here. Mostly pine trees, but and like I say, there is very little fall color to show today. I thought it would be a little bit more than it is, but I'm sure that in the next 2 weeks we're going to see things change pretty good. If you hear that gun shooting in the background, that's because we're not real far from the McMiller's Sportsman Center. Sometimes I hear a lot of guns going off there, and sometimes I hear some big ones. Automatic weapons in there occasionally, or semi-automatics. I think that one day they're going to get bored with shooting at those boring old targets, and they're going to start shooting at each other, maybe. Who knows? But that's what that noise, that popping is in the background, if the camera's picking it up. Now we're coming down into the pine lanes here. They planted a lot of pines here in the early 60s. And I used to ride these trails in the 60s. And I can remember right down here, this trail that we're going to go on, I can remember when the bottom boughs of those trees were just above my head. When we'd ride through here, they were that short then. Now they're pretty tall, and it was fun when they were young and those trees were short, because you'd ride through and you'd hear the wind blowing through the pines. It's kind of a neat effect. It's a little bit different now, but that was back in the 60s, and I've been riding these trails ever since the 1960s. You really can't see it much anymore because it's pretty growing up. But this was quite a nice steep sandy hill going down into that kettle there. All sand, but there's a lot of trees that grew up in here through the past several years. But I had a friend that I used to ride with a lot named Linda, and we used to like to ride down in there and then gallop up that hill real fast. It was a lot of fun. Linda was killed in an auto accident in 2003, and we carried her ashes out in the saddlebags of her horse. We ponied her horse out here, ponied her horse with saddlebags and her ashes, and we scattered them here because this was her favorite spot. I can remember many times doing wild gallops up the hill. It was a lot of fun. All growing up now, though. Here's a couple little obstacles that they put out on the trail. This is a little bridge to walk your horses over. Some horses will walk over it and some won't. Come on, Lee, let's go. Lee usually walks over this, but you never know. Some people back their horses over. I don't think I do that. But just one of the little things that the riding clubs have put out here. We're coming by a few more obstacles. We're almost done with this trail ride, Lee and I. And I'm looking at this wood box. I don't know how good the video is showing it, but turn on haunches, it says on the sign. That means your horse is supposed to put his front legs in that wood box, and then you turn him around without him taking his front legs out. But over here, you see those tractor tires half buried in there. I don't know what they call that one. We'll get up a little closer to it. Come on, Lee. There we are. But my name for these is the tractor tires of death. Because if your horse doesn't spook and send you off to the happy trail ride in the sky, you pass the test. I don't see a sign that says what this is for. Maybe they assume that you know what it's for. First time Lee saw these things, he really spooked at them, but now, of course, he goes through them with little issues. Tractor tires of death. Now, the last obstacle before we head back to Highway 67, the log crossing. And here it is. Now we're just going to walk across this, but early this spring, Lee and I took a fast gallop to this thing, and Lee jumped over this thing so high that I almost flew off his back. Needless to say, we're not doing that today. I don't want to be flying off his back at my age. So what I've done is I made a nice long loop through the Kettle Moraine forest on the horse trails. Very, very pleasant ride today. Perfect day for riding. There are no bugs, no mosquitoes or flies to contend with. Just pleasant weather. A little breezy today, but it was very comfortable for riding. This trail that I'm on loops back, and we're going to head out to Highway 67 and cross it. And once I cross it, I'll be back on the fence line trail that I started out on. I've been doing this kind of riding since the 1960s. Never get tired of it. Always enjoyable. I don't have bright orange on today like that rider that's coming in does. I guess she's being wiser than me. Hello. What a pretty Friesian. That is a Friesian, isn't it?
I love your bareback action there.
Yes.
He's just really big.
I love how they're built. I think Friesian horses are just gorgeous.
Say hi. No, you don't get to do
You
those.
keep them over at Beckwith's? Yeah, I see them out there.
We've been there a year now, and we are so happy.
I'm glad you like it. I've been riding these trails since the 1960s.
Aren't you guys just up the hill?
Just over by, just up the hill. Have a great ride.
You too. Do you drive?
No. I haven't put a harness on him since I had him.
He says, I want to go home, Daddy. I want to go home.
He's very spoiled. Bye now.
Bye. Come on.
And here is Lee is doing what he loves to do best. He loves his grass at the end of a ride. And he'll have an apple waiting for him in his stall before I turn him out with the herd.